Welcome to Mainland Television Regional News. I'm Graham O'Brien, and coming up in today's bulletin, motor enthusiast and writer visits for good cause with mini cars to help children mobilise. Giga winner for ultra-fast broadband is finally announced. Heads up as two major phone companies plan to double dip. Award-winning motoring writer Jackie Madeline was in Nelson this week, and all for a good cause. She is known in the motoring fraternity to try just about anything with an engine, from methanol-burning jet sprint boats to racing sidecars, from taking a Hummer off-road to punting a Lamborghini round bends, or piloting a minicar to the supermarket. As a motoring and motorcycle journalist, she's driven cars, ridden bikes all over the world. Along the way, her work has appeared in newspapers and magazines, on television and the internet. She is now a board member of a charitable trust. Chrissy Small caught up with Jackie at Saxton Stadium on Thursday.
Jackie, what has brought you here to Nelson?
Go Baby Go. We're launching a charity that helps get mobility impaired kids moving in a play environment, so in a manner that other kids will find attractive or want to play with them. Normally, if you can't move around independently, if you're in a wheelchair or you're relying on your mum to carry you around, makes it a little bit harder to relate to other kids in the playground, to play with your siblings, or to do that chase and run away from mum when you've been a bit naughty. And all those are really important developmental things. So Go Baby Go gets kids mobile in a fun way, in a play environment.
Now, Jackie, most people would be interested to know that you're actually a motoring writer. Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
I worked for a motorcycle magazine and then a car magazine for 8 years in total, and I've been self-employed freelance for about 12 or 13 years now, so scary chunk of time.
Right, but you're obviously doing well.
Yeah, well, I'm sure anybody who's self-employed will understand things go up and down. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so, but overall, I'll never be bored and I'll never be rich.
So to be doing this, you obviously have a passion for motor vehicles.
Yeah, I think you could say that. I don't know absolutely everything there is to know, but I really enjoy driving and riding, so yeah.
Well, you could be our own New Zealand woman version of Top Gear presenters. Do you think it's a good idea to start a women's Top Gear show for New Zealand?
It could be a really cool way to get across that there are women petrol heads out there as well. It's not just all for the guys.
Okay, so if you had a choice to be one of the presenters, who would you model yourself on? Jeremy Clarkson, we've got James May or Richard Hammond?
I think probably my friends would say James May because I'm a bit of a pedant, but I think I'd probably prefer Hammond and his silliness, and also his wardrobe's better than the other two.
Okay, look, it's lovely to have you here, and what a great cause, and well, it'll go really well today, I'm sure.
Thank you.
On the topic of this new New Zealand charity, Go Baby Go, whose aim is to get children with mobility issues out playing with other kids, was introduced in Nelson this week. The charity was set up to offer children with reduced mobility, limiting their ability to develop and play while inhibiting their social development, a way of becoming mobilised to start to interact and play with other children. 2 Nelson children aged 3 were given adapted toy cars in Nelson, and Mainland was there to see it happen.
I'm here today with Katie Noble, MD of Allied Medical, to talk about that amazing new work with the charity Go Baby Go. So Katie, how did you get involved with Go Baby Go?
So Allied Medical is a mobility products company, and we sell a lot of powered chairs that mostly get funded in New Zealand through ACC and Ministry of Health. We've got a great funding system, but a lot of kids aren't quite ready for powered mobility equipment or wheelchairs as such, and neither are their families. So when I heard about Go Baby Go, I was like, yes, this is exactly what we need to help families get comfortable with this type of equipment before they get into something that's going to be more, rehab focused. But don't get me wrong, this is incredibly rehab focused, and I think that's what excites me about it as well, that it is something that's so age appropriate for these kids, that it is what kids should be doing, right?
Yeah, definitely. And seeing them now, it looks like they're having a great time doing it. So say there's a parent out there with a disabled child who maybe wants to have a look into getting one. How would they go about applying for it?
Yeah, good question. Right now, we'd say they talk to their therapist and with the occupational therapist or physiotherapist that they're working with, probably at their local hospital or their paediatrician, and they can then refer on to Go Baby Go. So we've got a website which you can go on, and there's application forms that will be ready to go on that, so people can email us through that website.
Is that website live now, or?
It is live, but also we've got our contact details are on it. So we're working on getting it up to speed. But like everything, we're voluntary run. We're looking for sponsors, and everything's as people have got time and sort of money is available to do that. But we have got a fantastic web company that's developing for us at no cost, which is fantastic, a company called Zyber.
Awesome, and seeing it now is definitely something that if you can, you should really try and sponsor, because it is a great cause. And thank you for giving us the time to come down and have a look at it.
My absolute pleasure. I'm going to go back and watch the kids now. Cool.
I'm here with Mindy Silver at the launch of Go Baby Go charity event in the South Island of New Zealand. And so Mindy, what is your role in all of this?
Hi, I'm a paediatric physio, and I had heard about the Go Baby Go concept that started in America with Cole Galloway from the University of Delaware. And I was kind of looking for more information, and Cole put me in contact with Jilly, who's the CEO here in New Zealand for Go Baby Go. And we kind of worked together with a couple of other members of the board to get this charity up and running. We believe it's a great concept, and we wanted to bring it to New Zealand for the New Zealand children. Yeah,
that's awesome. It looks like they're having a great time. So what are the actual advantages to this? Like, it's obviously not just a toy for them, so what does it do for them?
Yeah, you're right. There's been a bit of a shift in working with children with disabilities over the last few years. There's been a move away from just trying to remediate the physical disability, and rather trying to give children an experience of normal childhood, so that they can develop a lot of concepts on their own, just through experience and the environment. So children learn to socialise, communicate, explore their world, develop a sense of exploration through movement, and when they have a physical disability that limits that movement, it also limits their development in terms of their learning. So this concept has been taken by Cole Galloway and the Go Baby Go concept to a very fun and usable level, where they've taken cars that are available to the general public and just done some simple adaptations to make it useful for children that have disabilities, so that in a kindy environment with other children or at home, they're in a fun, age-appropriate device that gives them that independence, that ability to explore, to socialise, and to just interact with their peers.
That's awesome, and wow, the kids, they're like lighting up with them. That's amazing. So please keep it up, because I'm sure many more parents will be very happy about it. I'm here with one of the lucky parents, Katrina, today. So Katrina, how long did it take to find out about getting the car for your son?
When we first found out about it and we put in the application, it only took probably 3 or 4 weeks, I think it was, to find out that we were going to be lucky enough to get a car, and then it was just putting everything into place and going from there.
Awesome. And how has your son's car been specifically fitted for him?
Hunter's got cerebral palsy, so he's got spastic diplegic cerebral palsy, which means his legs are very, very stiff in the muscles, and we're working with being able to have his legs straight, so that then he can be learning for standing and walking, because at the moment he can't stand unaided for very long, and he can't walk, so they've fitted it with special pads, which we've still got to get working properly, so that his legs will be straight, which is part of his physio. And there's a head plate, which we're still working out as well, so that if he's not leaning back across the head plate properly, the radio won't work. And because he's such a sound orientated child, it's a big thing for him. So, and some harnesses just to help hold him in just for the start while he's getting his balance and all that.
And he looks like he's really enjoying it. Can you tell how much he really is?
Oh yes, he's grinning ear to ear. In fact, I actually had to take the key off him earlier so that he would stop running everybody over while we got things sorted out at the start. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get him out of it in a hurry. In fact, hopefully the battery will run flat sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and obviously this must be such a big day for you as well. How is all this making you feel?
Very emotional. It's huge. Something like this is going to really support Hunter with his social skills, making friends, as well as continuing his physio in a fun way. Because we've tried really hard not to make his life all about physio. We want him to actually enjoy his life and have fun. So, yeah, it's very, very huge.
Yeah, well, I'll let you get back to your son now, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Yes, folks, on Wednesday evening at Gigatown Nelson HQ, the Gigatown winner for ultra-fast broadband was announced via the internet from the Chorus event held in Wellington. Nelson has missed out on the big prize, coming in second place, which doesn't give us the first hookup to UFB, and finishing directly behind the winning city, Dunedin, who is to become the New Zealand's first ultra-fast broadband Gigatown. Nelson was vying for the title along with Wanaka, Timaru, Gisborne and winner Dunedin during the final phase of a year-long competition. The Gigatown headquarters in Nelson was full of enthusiastic supporters who were all awaiting the outcome of this year-long competition. Nelson Mayor Rachel Reese, meanwhile, was in attendance at the official Wellington Gigatown announcement representing Nelson's efforts. Gigatown Nelson campaign co-leader Claire Atkins said that she was gratified to have been part of this community-led, grassroots effort that galvanised people across the region, while co-leader Matthew Dodd said that the Gigatown will have a legacy for Nelson. He said organisations from councils, businesses and educators through to the community development groups have all been inspired about the digital possibilities. Both organisers said they would like to thank all of the volunteers and the companies involved. Meanwhile, undeterred by the loss, the atmosphere at Gigatown HQ quickly moved from disappointment to that of enjoying the Giga Wrap party and celebrating the effort that brought many businesses, schools and the community together for the cause. Customers who buy a phone service from Spark or Vodafone but who buy a fixed line broadband from a different provider such as Slingshot or Snap will be double billed for the $23.50 monthly wholesale cost of their phone lines from Monday, unless they shift their phone and broadband business to one supplier, with Spark and Vodafone pocketing one set of the charges. Most are Spark phone customers, but Vodafone admitted a small but unknown number of its customers would be in the same boat. The issue has arisen because Spark and Vodafone are refusing to pass on savings they will make as a result of the wholesale billing change, and are instead encouraging customers to avoid the extra cost by giving them their broadband as well as their phone business. This has come about as a result of a change in the way Chorus bills for its wholesale services. So from Monday, broadband providers will pay the $23.52 monthly wholesale charge for renting a phone line direct to Chorus. For the first time in 62 years, Nelson is to host the New Zealand Black Sticks in an international test series. This means an excellent opportunity for people to come along, bring the family and watch the best hockey players from New Zealand and Canada battle it out over 2 nights, playing in Nelson and Christchurch from the 9th to the 14th of December. The first 2 tests of the series will be played at Saxton Field in Nelson before the teams head to Marist Park at St Bede's College in Christchurch for a further 2 matches. Both games start at 6:30 p.m. at Saxton Field, and for all those Nelson people who wait to the last minute, there will be gate ticket sales on those days. The government has lowered the adult drink driving limit for drivers over the age of 20. From the 1st of December, the adult breath alcohol limit drops from 400 micrograms of alcohol per litre of breath to 250 micrograms. The blood alcohol limit will reduce from 80 milligrams of alcohol per 100 millilitres of blood to 50 milligrams. The alcohol limit for drivers under the age of 20 years is still 0, which was introduced in August 2011. However, one unusual aspect of this law change is that drivers who fail a breath test between the new limit of 250 to 400 micrograms will face a fine of $200 and 50 demerit points, but will have no criminal conviction. Alcohol contributes to around 30% of New Zealand's fatal road crashes. Over the last 10 years, fatal crashes caused by drink driving have claimed the lives of around 1,100 people and caused serious injuries to another 5,300. Tasman District will start water rationing from Monday after weeks of persistent drying winds and little rain. Aquifer levels across the district were much lower than last year and also trending down. For fruit growers, the real issue was sizing fruit, which did not occur until after Christmas. However, there has been less than 75% of normal rainfall for this time of the year and ground conditions were dry. Tasman District Council's Dry Weather Task Force convener Dennis Bush-King said it's not too critical for fruit growers at this stage, but if there's not a large rain event soon, there will be major issues with water on the plains. Aquifers and bore levels were noticeably lower than this time last year. It's not the lowest ever, but council are keeping an eye on it. Water users have to watch their demand and conserve, he said. Nelson City Council has also issued a warning about possible water restrictions for residents who take their water directly from streams and wells. This would affect around 500 households. Monitoring is continuing, and in the absence of significant rain, restrictions will be necessary within the next 2 weeks. Households taking water from wells and streams that breach trigger flows will be asked to take water only for the following purposes: domestic use, drinking water for animals, and firefighting. Affected residents will be asked to stop taking water for crop and garden irrigation. If streams go on to reach minimum flows, water may only be taken for firefighting purposes. The restrictions do not apply to those on town supply, and water levels in the Maitai Dam, Maitai and Rationing rivers are currently adequate. However, all residents are encouraged to always use water wisely. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.